Hello, DJ here, and welcome back to what should be the last of my series on Civilization 6. Now, the last episodes were recorded way back in November. It is now nearly February. And last time, I kind of surprised myself because I activated Carl Sagan thinking he wouldn't complete one of my space projects in one go, but he did. And I've whizzed forward a bit until we've got the last two for the last stage of the Science Victory ready to go for next turn. I think someone has just sabotaged this overlay. No, go away. Fucking no. Thank you. See, no. Ah, no. Right. Stupid. Now, this is the second time I've recorded this intro, because last time I launched these two things and then my computer restarted. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. But we shall see. Let's go, chaps! I'm going to have to deal with all this lot first. I probably should have done that while I was talking. Here he is, this guy. He doesn't like me because I'm attracting more great people than him. Mostly because my conch isn't quite as silly. And I do say that as a person who owns a very large nose. And my frame rate's dropped a bit. I hope that's nothing to do with it. No, it's back up again. Strange. Come on. Nearly there. And off we go! Reactor. Whee! Zoom. Yeah, I'm definitely watching my frame rate because it keeps flicking between 60 and 30. Strange. Fishies! Okay. And the next one. And I hope it didn't crash just because of any cutscene we get. No. Okie doke. Right.
Much as our ancestors did ages ago.
Hello, Sean Bean.
Thrust forward into the unknown.
Thrust.
The first pioneers set forth on an uneasy course.
Ooh.
And yet once again did our people thrive.
This sounds like a quote
Now,
from something.
Under your leadership, we plot a new course.
Ooh.
And make another world our own.
That's cool. Cool. Okay. Science Victory. Just one more turn, I think. Absolutely. Right. You. So, okay, so let's just pause it there and let's talk about Civ 6. Now, I went and checked up on Steam to see how this game is going, and although it seems to have very good reviews overall, recent reviews have been very bad, quite negative. Primarily, from what I can tell, there was a lot of anger at there was a patch a while after release that fixed a lot of problems. But there's some complaints about the AI on higher difficulty settings, I think. There's the obvious complaint about the way they do DLCs. Now, if you're a slightly older gamer and grew up in the 90s, obviously there wasn't any DLCs. We called them expansions. Of course, things are slightly different now. For example, Far Harbor is an expansion to Fallout 4. Adding another Civ to Civ 6, that's not really an expansion, but you can just vote with your wallet and wait for one of the proper expansions to come along. I believe the what was it, Gods and something expansion for Civ 6 included a whole lot of the DLCs that had been released prior, and I'm sure they'll do the same with Civ 6. Civ 5 had 18 starting civilizations when it was first released, which I believe is the same as this game. 18 base and then more added later. There wasn't even any religion or international trading, and a whole load of other stuff that wasn't in Civ 5. A lot of complaints about this being an incomplete game. I'm not a hardcore Civ player. I enjoy it. I probably put more hours into this game and Civ 5 than I have put into any other game. Even Fallout 4, which I got, I don't know, 150 hours, 200 maybe? I've probably got about at least 100 on this game, and something like over 250 on Civ 5. So I'm sure more stuff will come out in the proper expansions, almost certainly. So things. Let's actually talk about things that I don't like. The art style. I know they did it for a reason, because there was a lot going on, and it needs to be readily identifiable. And it is very different from Civ 5, which had a very what's the phrase? The term even. Art Nouveau style, and this is especially the resources. These big icons that are very simplistic. I don't know. I know it makes it simple and easy to pick out things when you're browsing around like this, But my frame rate's gone again. Why are you doing that? Yeah, it's gone back up again. I'm wondering if there's something's happening in the background. It makes things look a little less serious, though. I'm not sure. There's a difference between simplistic and cartoonish, or minimalist and cartoonist. Cartoonish. What else am I not a huge fan of? I'm not sure. I think I need to play this game more. I can't really put words on what else I don't really like about it. Things I do like. Things I do like are the two tech trees. Culture is very different in Civ 6. It is a tech tree, like science, but it... excuse me. In the previous one, you had, I think, 10 different staged, like mini branches, and you had to complete a certain number of them before they added some other stuff. I really like the whole. I didn't realise. Not that one. This one. This. I didn't realise this was apparently in some way part of Civ 4. And they got rid of it for the civics tree, or the social policies they had in Civ 5. So that is a welcome return. These are I know that the social policies was more about a long-term stuff, and this, you could micromanage and flip about rather than planning ahead. But I like this. I like this, actually. And we have the different government styles, and which sort of fill the function of the ideologies, or at least these last three. The ideologies in Brave New World, which was the second major expansion. Although I bought Civ 5 in 2015, which was That was well after all the expansions and DLCs had come out, and I bought the whole thing as a package. So I never played Civ 5 early on, and so I don't know exactly what the thing. Yeah, there was no religion in the beginning of Civ 5, which I find astonishing. I only read about that about 20 minutes ago. What else do I like? I really like the Great People system in this. Maybe it's the same as other previous Civs, I don't know, but the competing aspect, the way you can steal them from other players. Ooh, I'm about to get another one. Probably next turn. Yeah, definitely next turn. Only got 6.8 to go. In Civ 5, you just accumulated points, and when you had enough points, regardless of any other Civ, you got a great person. Another thing that wasn't even in Civ 5 was Great Works. In fact, tourism wasn't even in the beginning of Civ 5. So to call Civ 6 at release a incomplete game, I'm not entirely sure you can make that while saying that Civ 5 is better. Civ 5 as it is now, with all its expansions and all its extra content, is probably a better game than Civ 6 is, but we're probably going to have to wait at least 2 years to get the full experience of what Civ 6 is, I reckon. So what am I going to go for next? I think I might try and... Well, I'm not going to record it. This is the last episode, but... Science victory. Well, I've already won. 140... Culture. Let's have a look. What are we doing? Ooh, we are on the way. Greece is doing alright there. Okay, so anything else? I'm sure I've missed something. Oh, the districts. Yeah, some people don't like the districts. I also think some people don't like choice. But that might be a little harsh. Because if we go... lenses? No, not. Where was it? Show yield icons. There we go. If you look, obviously it shows you what sort of things you get, and of course you don't get them from the districts. You have to abandon a mine or a farm, or what might potentially be a mine or a farm or whatever, and spend a whole lot of resources creating a district that at the start doesn't really give you a whole lot, but then obviously you can build your commercial hub, and then you build your market, and then you build your bank, and then you build stock exchange. So the whole thing does rack up to be worth it in the end. Or you can, of course, wait and keep your 5 food. So that, yes, that's a choice you can make. So I quite like that. Also, what is very interesting is if let's bring up the tab for Cairo. Where is it? The power plant. Will it give me a thing? Come on, give me an overlay. Give me an overlay. No? That's useful. Wonders? No, right. Okay, so the power plant gives +6. But it also gives +6 to a city within 6 tiles. So... city placement is a lot more important in Civ 5, as far as I'm aware, than in Civ... Sorry, blah. Is more important in Civ 6 and Civ 5, possibly, because you get this overlap, and that works with the top tier of all districts, be it the research lab, I can't remember what's in the theatre district. I think it's the zoo in... Could be the zoo, and then there's something else in the culture one. So of course, if you want all districts to overlap over the city, you have to place them closer than 6 tiles, which means because each city can control a tile up to 3 tiles away. So, for example, if we go here, no, there, that's easier. So 1, 2, 3, and of course in all directions, but if you've got the cities closer than 6 tiles, which you would need to have all the districts overlapping another city, you would have each city not being able to control the full number of tiles it could control. So, do you have all cities with a maximum number of tiles and all the bonuses you get from that, or do you overlap for your big buildings, which only works at the when you get your tier 3s in each district. So again, choice. I have been rambling, and I'm probably talking bollocks. So yeah, I quite like this game, and that's what matters for me. At the end of things, I like it. And if some people don't like it, that's fine. But I like it. It could be a little less cartoony, and I'm sure it's only going to get better. I'm sure they're going to expand the diplomatic system, which some people haven't liked. Because, well, there's no World Congress, which was only added... Was that added at the beginning of Civ 5, or was that in Brave New World? And, oh dear. And then the game crashed. For whatever reason. I don't know, my display driver went poo. I have a sneaking suspicion that my graphics card is on the way out. It's been playing up in Fallout 4. It's been, well, any game, really, actually. The thing is, I was having no problems with Fallout 4 at all. I'd run it for hours. And then, I can't remember if it was the upgrade to Windows 10 or the one of a particular... there was definitely something about a particular driver update. But then perhaps there's some physical damage as well. I don't know. To be honest, my computer is getting old. It's a i3570K, which is like a 4-year-old product these days, maybe older. And not an i7. And what is my? I got an R9 280X. I mean, I can play most things on high. It's only really when you start pushing it harder. Also, Civ 6 gives you 2 options when you load it up. It says to load it normally or to load it in DirectX 12. And I have had far more problems with DirectX 12 than 11. Maybe that's just because DirectX is kind of new, but still. Or maybe my graphics card wasn't around then. I'm not sure. But who knows? At some point I'm going to have to suck it up and maybe fob this thing off of my dad for a few £100. I don't know. And buy a new computer. Or a new motherboard, CPU, RAM and graphics card. Which obviously is most of the computer, but like the hard drives and the case and blah 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 blah. Anyway, rambling. I desperately need beer in me. It's Saturday night and there is a pub waiting. Well, I presume there is a pub waiting. So, Civ 6 is good. And I'm probably going to stick a whole lot of hours into it, just like I did Civ 5. In fact, let's just double check. Let's double check how many hours I have on Civ 5. Civ 5. Oh, only 211. 87 on 6. Fallout. We have 155. There we go. That's the actual figures, like you give a shit. So, holy shit, actually finished a project for once. So, what's going to happen with my Fallout Let's Play? I am probably going to abandon the regular Let's Play. That is, I think, gone. There's a couple of things I might add in. Might mention at some other point, but that is for mostly is gone. Far Harbour. I want to finish that. Actually, although only 3 episodes have gone out, I think I've recorded 11. And they're kind of sitting there, and there's fun stuff, and Far Harbour is kind of almost, in some ways, what Fallout 4 kind of could have been, to begin with. Especially with regards to the actual roleplay aspect. And I love the atmosphere and the music. It's good. It's a good little thing, and there's like twists and turns in the plot. I have 2 planned Let's Plays. One is going to be a lot of fun. In fact, both should be a lot of fun, but one is going to be very, very silly. And silly is what you're here for, I presume. I mean, are you even still listening? I mean, we're 20-odd minutes into this. When we got the science victory about 19 minutes ago. Or whatever. Oh, shitting bot nuggets. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to finish. Yes, finish. So, I don't know what's on the screen for you right now. That's something for future DJ to work out. So, if you want more silly and new things to watch apart from a strange man in his bedroom, well, you're not watching me. You're watching you're watching the game that a strange man in his bedroom is playing. So, if you want more of that and other strange things, next up is probably going to be my New Year's Eve adventure. Yes, where me and a bunch of people go to Manchester and drink. It was good fun, for the most part, but that would be spoilers, because there were some bad things too. Yes, interesting bad, but still bad. Interesting but bad. Badly interesting, interestingly bad. Yes, so for more silly, click on that, whatever that is. I haven't decided what that is, but click on it. I shall see you next time.